Hello there. The last video we talked about Hebrew alphabet, the 23 letters of the Hebrew alphabet. You remember them? Let's go. You remember them? The first one, Aleph, Bet, Gimel, Dalet, He, Waw, Zayin, Chet, Tet, Yod, Kaf, Lamed, Nun, Mem, Nun, Samek, Ayin, Pe, Tzade, Kof, Resh, Sin, Shin, and Tau. I hope we got it all right. Those are the 23 letters of the Hebrew alphabet. But I also mentioned that though there are no vowels, some consonants were actually being used in place of vowels. Let me remind you of those ones. We have the consonant wow is used to represent sounds like O and U and U. Consonant like Yod is used to represent vowels like E, A, and related stuff. A consonant like He is used to represent sound A. So they were called mothers of letters because they were being used to depict those sounds. Later, around the 10th century, a group of scholars called the Masoretes. This group of scholars arose and devised a vowel system. They devised a system of vowels whereby the actual letters will not be changed in any way. There was so much deep reverence for the word of God that they didn't want to use a system where you needed to move the letters and make space for the vowels. For that reason, they designed a system, you may call them of dots, different dots to signify different sounds. And that's what I want to introduce us to. So we'll be looking at Hebrew full vowels. There is a reason for calling them full vowels because later on we are going to note Hebrew half vowels, which is the Sheva. But for now, we want to look at the Hebrew full vowels. Now, these vowels are classified in terms of the length. In fact, each belong to a particular class. Of course, we also need to know the sound. There is transliteration, and of course, the sign that is used. Now, because of the unique way these vowels are devised, sometimes you don't see them on their own, unlike what you have in English or even Greek, where you can have actual letters on their own. Here, because they revolve around the consonant, no word, with just one exception, no word starts a Hebrew, no letter starts a Hebrew, no vowel rather, starts a Hebrew word. Let me take it again. No vowel starts a Hebrew word. There's just only one exception, which we'll talk about much later. So know that whatever we are dealing with, you don't expect a vowel to start a Hebrew word. Because of this system, if I write it without putting it in the context of any consonant, you may not know how it really looks like. So what I'll do is I'll give different examples using different consonants just to depict that sound so that you will see how it looks like in different contexts. But know that the vowel can go with any consonant, potentially any consonant. Okay, So let's go. I'm going to, and then maybe before we move on, there are some scholars depict three classes of these vowels. Three classes. Class A, class E, and class U. Three classes. Class A, class E, and class U. But some other scholars devise, it means they call them five, they say there are five classes. So in addition to A, E, U, they now have class A and class O. Class O. Some books you see when you get acquainted with some textbooks, some use that five classification or some use the three classification. I'll be using the three classification. And later on, because it will make some other things make sense to you much later on as we proceed with the lectures. So we'll be using the three classification: class A, class E, and class U. So let's have it. We're going to have the class here. That's the class. We're going to talk about, in addition to knowing the class, each vowel is a grammatical category. We call it length. What is the length of that vowel? Is it short vowel? Is it long vowel? Or is it unchangeably long vowel? The length is not in terms of pronunciation. Actually, as I said, it's a grammatical category. And this also will make sense later on. So, we talk of the class of vowel. We talk of the sign we are talking about. What sign are we dealing with? What is the length of that vowel, which I told you is a grammatical category? What is the transliteration? Transliteration. And then what is the sound of that vowel? Sound. I think these are the categories. If there's anyone I left out, I will pick it up later. So let's look at the class R. We have class R. Class R. In class R, I will use a sign, but I will incorporate it with a consonant so that it will be clear to us. Let me use calf. I can use calf as a consonant. I can also use cough as a consonant just to show you. But these are consonants, that's not the vowel yet. But this is a vowel. Okay, this is a vowel. Here also it will be like this. It's a vowel. If I have another letter, let me see, Aleph. Let me use another letter as Aleph. It will be like this. If I have another one, let's say Sin, it will be like this. So just see, this is the vowel. In terms of length, there's one other. Uh, let me put the name. It's a name, just as we have had in Greek. It has a name, and then we have the transliteration. So let me move this a little bit so that there's more space. We actually do have. Let me leave this. Okay. So let me put the length here. Let's put the name of that vowel, and then let's have the sound, corresponding sound of that vowel. You already know, you are acquainted. Oh my goodness, I left transliteration. Length, name, transliteration, transliteration, and then sound. So how many categories do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have about 6 categories. So this one we have put here is said to have is to be short. It's a short vowel. Short vowel. What's its name? Its name is Patha. Patha. That's its name. Patha. Patha. This is the sign. This is the sign. This is the sign. This is the sign. Short vowel, grammatically speaking. And as I said, it will make sense later. In terms of transliteration, we transliterate it this way, just your R. It's an R sound. How we just, let's say this, as in car or cat. That's your R sound. That's your bazaar. Belonging still to the R class vowel, maybe I can make it big because once we change, I can make it more. Let me just make it very big. Okay. Also belonging to the R class vowel is another sign. All right. Let me use another letter there. I don't want you to confuse it. Let me put it this way. So let me put another letter. Let me use resh. This is a vowel. Don't forget this is a consonant. Let's take another one. We don't want to use cap. Let's use bait. Bait. This is a vowel. All right. Even if it is ayin, we can use ayin. These are just examples. You see, if I just written this alone without putting it in the context of a consonant, you might just not know how it sits in relation to the letter. That's why I needed to do that. Okay. In terms of length, this is a long vowel. In terms of name, this is a long vowel. The name of this is kamets. 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 In terms of transliteration, we write the A and put a bar on it because it's a long vowel. In terms of sound, you see basically the same. So you may still say R as in car. I don't want to show you another one as if it shows it's longer. It's no longer. It's just R sound. That's R sound. Okay. Then we have another. Okay, I don't want it to be confusing. We have another still belonging to the R class vowel. Let me use Gimel. Gimel. This is okay. We are now introducing. You see, it looks the same as this, huh? But it must go together with this, with the hey. So its name is Kamet Hey. Kamet Hey. So that's one example. Let's use another one. Let's say Dalet. Dalet is also Kamet Hey. Okay, it goes together. Let's use Tau or what do I, any other one? Mm, Moon. We can use Moon. It's also Kamet Hey. This, in terms of length, is said to be unchangeably long. Some may say very long. It will make sense later on, but just take note of it that we have short length, long, and then unchangeably long. So I will write it in full, but later I will unchangeably long. Henceforth, I will just be writing UL, right? Unchangeably long, because so take note because we'll find more of them in the other classes. Unchangeably long. In terms of name, it's called Kamet. You put a hyphen, Kamet Hey, because you see both the Kamet and Hey are together. This in this case is not acting as a consonant anymore. It goes together and it's a vowel. Please don't ever confuse it. It goes as what? A vowel. Now, let me pause a little for this. Where you have hey at the end of a word and is actually acting as a consonant, not as a vowel, then that hey may have a dot inside. If it has this dot inside, this dot is not called dagesh. No, this dot inside will be called mapik. I just want you to take note of that. It's called mapik. Once you see it this way, is to indicate to you that the hey is not a vowel, rather it is a consonant. So please take note of that. So we have Kamet A. In terms of the transliteration, uh, Some put it this way and they now put the A in brackets. Some put it that way. So take note when you see it, is Kamet A. And I think another way which some books may represent it is to put it this way and put like this. So as to show you, once you see this sign, sometimes it's used to characterize unchangeably long vowels. Take note of it. So whichever way any of the books or you get acquainted with does it, you'll find it there. All right. In terms of sound, basically the sound does also change. So now I'm saying the length is not in terms of how long you draw the pronunciation. No, it's just a grammatical category. So say as in car, as in car. Basically, sorry, that should be here. As in car. So these are our vowels in R. These are R class vowels. R class vowels. We have them short, long, unchangeably long. Could be pata when it's short, kamet when it's long, kametse when it's unchangeably long, and these are the forms. All right. So we go to E class vowels. Let's go to the next one. E class vowels. I will need to rub this off so as to explain E class vowels. E class vowels. E class vowels are actually quite a number, and I will let you see how they are. E class vowels are a number. All right. E class vowels, that's what we are dealing with now. E class vowels, and make it very long like that. So let me use any of the consonants again. Which one haven't we used? Let's use, I don't want to use hey, so because since it's sometimes also as a vowel, it doesn't get confusing. Let me use, and I don't want to use small ones like wow and zain. Let me use state. Let me use state. If it's E class vowel, we can have this. Okay. Let me use another one. Any other letter, we can use shin. It's also like this. Okay. This is the vowel. This is the vowel. In terms of length, it is a short vowel. It's a short vowel. In terms of name, it's called Hirek. Hirek. His name is Hirek. In terms of transliteration, it is E. In terms of sound, we say E as in ink, as in ink. It's an E class vowel. This is Hirek. It's called Hirek. All right. Then we can also have, let me use another letter. Let's use a nu this time around to depict another vowel. I want to make this very clear to us because I want the dots to be clear. So let me put it here. All right, that's it. Let's have another one. Let me put a calf. We have used calf before. Or let me use sade. Let's use sade as another example. And we still have it like that. This should be sufficient. Or we try another one. Samek. Let's try samek. Also, it will be like this. See, 3 dots, all right? In terms of length, this is also short. This is also short vowel. Its name is Segol. It's called Segol. In terms of transliteration, we write it this way. And we mean as in, let's say, met. It's an sound. Sound. All right, sound. Okay, I don't want you to get confused. Let's put another one, this another one. Okay, let's have a couple more. Then we have another one, which is also under E class vowel. Let's use calf now, calf. And these are 2 horizontally placed. And this is a long vowel. It's a long vowel. In terms of name, it's called Sere. It's called Sere. Okay, let me give another example also so it's not confusing, just not one alone. We can still have our Resh. Let's have Resh. It will also be like this. Resh. That's your Sere. Sere. Sere, when we depict it, is this, but because it's a long vowel, we put a bar on it. A bar. And the sound is a sound. So I can say, let me say A here as in pay, pay or cake. It's an A, it's an A sound. It's an A sound. All right. Let's pick some more. As I said, there are quite a number under the E class vowels. Let me go back to the ones we have used here so far. Let me go back to use state. There's one we call Irek Yod. Irek Yod. Yod in this instance is not acting as a consonant, it's a vowel. It goes together with with Irek. How would you know? There will be no sign, no vowel at all under that yod or around it. You cannot know it's not acting as a consonant, it's acting as a vowel. So let me take another example. We can still take our shin just as we did here. Irek yod. Irek yod. This is unchangeably long. Unchangeably long. So take note. Unchangeably long, in case you forgot that I said unchangeably long, and that is they call it as UL, unchangeably long, unchangeably long. And what do we call it? As I mentioned, Hirek Yod, Hirek Yod. That's its name, Hirek Yod. In terms of transliteration, we represent it as E, but then you put a little cap on it to differentiate it from our Irek alone. This goes with it, all right? And in terms of just say, it's basically the same. We just say E as in ink. It doesn't make a difference. It's still your E sound. It's still E sound. Okay. Now we go on. There are more under here. And let me go to we have Sego, we have Sego Yod. Let me still use the noun here. You can have Sego Yod. Sego Yod, um, Sego Yod. Let me stop here. And the last one, if you use the Samek again, Sego Yod. It's also UL, unchangeably long. It's unchangeably long. Take note, it's unchangeably long. As I mentioned, the Yod here is not acting as a consonant, it's acting as a vowel together with Sego. So, as I call it, it's Sego Yod. Sego Yod. And in terms of sound, it's basically the same as here. In terms of writing, we write it this way and put it this way. Okay, because it's unchangeably long. So we say as in, met, or wet, or whatever. It's just the same It's an sound. It's sound. Okay. Let me take another one. We have not exhausted it. Let me still use the calf here. And that will be Sere Yod. Let's have Sere Yod. And then we can still use the resh also there. It's also Sere Yod. Okay? Sere Yod. Sere Yod. I hope it's clear. You can see very well. It's also unchangeably long. It's unchangeably long. In terms of its name, it's called it Sere Yod. Sere Yod. Sere Yod. In terms of sound, it's not much different from what we have seen. So it is also A. But this how it looks almost confusing now in terms of the transliteration with Siri. Because best way would have been to put the bar and then to put this. But you can see how absurd it actually looks. So basically, once you see it in the transliteration, you need to be sure because it now looks so much as if it was Sego Yod, but there are other ways that will help us later on. So that's Siri Yod. We'll still say A as, oh, okay, we use A. So we can still say A as in pay, as in pay. All right, and that will go for it. These are all E class vowels, and still I have not exhausted them. I think I have two more under these E class vowels. So let me just fill them in, and then we'll be done. We'll be done with it. Okay, we'll be done with it. It's pretty long, so you can see why some choose to have it as a five class because they will have E and A separately. Here, another one is we can have it's still let's use which one will I use now? I can use any other. Let me use cough, which we used before. I can say let me say sego hey. In terms of length, it is unchangeably long. In terms of name, we call it Segol He. Segol He. Transliteration, sometimes what they now do with this is to put it this one and put the He in bracket, just as we did for Kamet He. In terms of sound, the sound does not change. It will still be air as in met, as in met. All right. The last one I want to mention now will be sere. Let me use tau now. I'll say sere he, sere he, sere he. It's also unchangeably long, and it's called sere he, sere he. In terms of, you just write it this way to show this one depicts the long vowel A. In terms of sound, we'll see just say, as in play. I just want, or okay, I'll be using pay. Let's be consistent, pay, and that should be okay. So all these belong to the E class vowels. Let's go to the last class, which is the U class vowels. U class vowels. Right. So we tend to have one. Let's start with use have. You can see how it slants. Three dots that slants. This is a short. Is short in terms of length. The name is kibbutz. 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 That's its name. It's kibbutz. In terms of transliteration, it is u. So you can say u as in pool. Pool is u. Kibbutz. Kibbutz. All right. Then we have another. Let me use resh here. Or cough. No, let me use cough. Let me use just to block that off. This one. Resh here. And this, I want you to take note of this sign very, very well. Is under U class vowels. U class vowels. For that reason, this is not kamets. It's not kamets. It's a short vowel. Its name is kamet atuf. Kamet atuf. Kamet atuf. In terms of sound, all sound. It has all sound. So transliteration is this. So we say all as in orange. As in orange. It's a short vowel. It belongs to the U class and the sound is all. Take note of that. We're going to work more on that. All right. And then we have another. Let me use bait at this time. Let's use bait. And I want to use, say this now, is the only vowel dot that is on top. It's only one. We find that all others have been beneath the consonant. Here, it's just on top like that. It's a long vowel. It's a long vowel. What's its name? It's called pollen. Pollen. What did I say? It's called pollen. It's pollen. Pollen. As I said, it's a long vowel. So to write it, we say O and put S. Okay? To show that it's a long vowel. Here, the sound is not O, it is O as in hole or hole. It's an O sound. O sound. Take note. It's an O sound. Right. Then we have another sign. Let me use Gimel for that. Gimel. It is this is a vowel. Let me just circle it so that you identify it. Don't be confused. This is the vowel. This is the vowel itself. Okay? This is the vowel. It is unchangeably long. So we'll just put UL, unchangeably long. What's its name? Shrek. Shrek. It's called Shrek. Shrek. That's its name. This is the vowel itself. This is the vowel together with what looks like a wow with a dot. The dot is not a dagesh at all. The combination together makes it Shrek. This is a vowel. So in terms of, we write it this way, right, and put like this to show that it is unchangeably long. So in terms of sound, it's not different. We just say U as in pool. It will be basically the same. It's O sound. That's Shrek. Okay, that's Shrek. After that one, we have, let me use another letter. Let's use Tate now. Tate. We have another one. Olem, wow. Olem, wow. You see, remember our Olem? But goes together. So let me separate so that it be sure you will know that it's basically the same. This is the vowel. It's the vowel itself, okay? Together, okay? Olem, wow. Olem, wow. It's also unchangeably long. Unchangeably long, it is Olem, now. Olem, wow. As I said, it's unchangeably long, so we depict it this way. In terms of sound, it's also O sound, so O as in hope. It's basically the same. O as in hope. Right. So we have kibbutz, we have kametatuf, we have olem, we have shrek, we have olem wow, and it is unchangeably long. As you go on, there are other some will say olem hey and stuff. That will be the only other one that I've seen others make mention of. But these are the very, very stable ones you will find. And these are the full vowels in Hebrew. Thank you for your time.